Hey y'all, welcome back to my shop. I am the Backwoods Modeler. Today I think we're gonna do some swapping here. I think I'm gonna build another single cab dually, and we're going to build another crew cab shortbed. This time we're gonna do it a little differently. We're gonna lift this one up and build it a little bit better than the original. So I've already done a little bit of prep here just to make things go a little bit faster. I'm not sure how well this will go, but we're going to find out, y'all. So I am going to take this M2 shortbed, which I have already taken all the tampos off the bed. You can see it's all over the cab still. We'll take that off before we do the other project. I just wanted to show you that what the bed looked like. It looked the same as the cab does. So I already got that all wiped off, popped apart. We get the cab out of the way, so bed's all nice and clean and shiny again. I'm still not sure if I'm going to use the black bumper. I probably won't. If I leave these in here, I may paint them or I may change them, because I do have another set over here on a donor truck that has a set of chrome ones on there, so I may swap those out. May change the lights, I don't know, we'll see. This is all, when I build trucks I don't have a theme or a plan other than original plan, other than I'm going to switch these beds around and build this truck a little differently. So I already got this one popped apart, I already got the bed ripped off. So the finished product, y'all, I'm sorry about the lights again. I'm still working on these. Maybe I can move some stuff around here and get this one a little closer. But anyway, this is going to be the end result, is what we're planning to go for. If I don't knock my light off the table. There we go. Sorry for all the dead space and dead time, y'all. I'm working on it. So let's just turn this a little bit. This is the truck we're going to end up with in the end. We're going to take this truck and the chassis off of it, which I've already taken apart. And we're going to use the chassis off of this truck, and we're going to use the chassis off of this green and white one. We're going to use the front half, obviously. It's going to take a little bit of working to see if it's going to fit together, and that went on there a lot better than I expected it to. So that's the first part. We'll have to put a screw in there, get that down. I see some grinding that's going to have to be done. This rivet doesn't want to go in the hole very well, so I may have to do a little grinding to get that down and flat. Oh no, just a little snapping and she popped right in. So we got that, and we'll figure out exactly where we're going to cut it, which is probably going to be way back here in the back. I like to aim for between the two doors. I find that to be a good even middle point on the truck to use. So we'll mark that out, we'll cut that across, and then we'll get the bed on there, and we'll get the back half on, and we'll get that set up. So the reason I'm doing it this way is because I find it easier to use parts that are already factory painted. It makes the project go faster. You don't have to paint it and wait for paint to dry and then clear coat it and all that other crap. I'm more of a instant gratification kind of guy, so I like to have it done as soon as possible. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to pop the back half of this transmission off of here, because we don't want to cut that. I don't want to screw that up. We're going to hopefully reuse that. And then we're not going to mess with anything up here in the front. We don't want to screw any of that up, so we're going to plan to cut it right in this area, just about a 1/4 inch or maybe 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So we're going to cut it. So we want to pop this off because I don't want this destroyed. So how are we going to pop that off? That's a good question. I'm probably going to use my hobby knife. Let's see, does that go through? No. That's just glued on the best, so I just got to figure out the best way to get in there and pop that off. It might be attached to this part too. This part of, oh, there she went. She's off. Luckily, my stuff over here caught it. So there we go. That's off. Now we'll put this back on here. We'll take the bed off because we don't need that on right just yet. We'll slip this back on here. Maybe I should have done the white one. It would have been easier to see. Okay, so we got this back on here. And like I said, I try to aim for right where the doors are. So I'm going to jump off camera here and cut this real fast. And then we'll continue back on. I'll be right back. Alright, so we got this piece cut. And like I said, we aim for right between the doors. We got her cut, set. Now we're going to put the screw back in it to hold it into place. Which is the other good thing about these M2s is they got the screws. You can stick them right in there and you're good to go. Alright, so now we got that in place. Let's put the bed back on. Now, before we go any further, I guess we need to take this one apart. I should have done this already and forgot to. Okay. So, get that apart. Let's get these wheels and tires off of here. Alright, got those off. Let's go ahead and pop the push bar off of this because we're not going to use the front half of this. We're using the back half. So now we got the push bar off. Alright, that's how fast you strip these trucks, guys. I've done so many of them, it doesn't take very long. Where is our bed? There's our bed. So now we're going to stick this on the bed. Then we're going to stick it up through here. And we're going to determine here where we're going to cut at. Now, I may go ahead and cut the front end off of this so I can get a better alignment. I'm going to ruin that front end, but I'm okay with that because I need the back half. So let's try to get this piece off of here without destroying it so we can reuse it. I gotta use a screwdriver for that. There, that one popped off. See if we can get this one off. Oh yeah, popped right off. We'll just take that off completely, get it out of our way. Now, what we're, like I said, I'm just going to cut real quickly. I'm going to cut this front off, and then I'll line this up, and I'll have a better idea on exactly where to cut it because, you know, it's no secret. The better your cut is, the better the truck comes out. So, give me a minute, guys, and I'll be back again. All right, so I just did a real crude cut on that. It didn't have to be perfect because it doesn't matter. So now we've got this cut and set on here. See, we're already starting to look pretty good. See what I mean by using painted parts and already done chassis? Makes life a lot easier for us to build. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this exactly where I'm going to cut it. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and then I'll be right back and we'll start putting this baby back together. Hang on a minute. All right, guys, we are so close here. All I got to do is a little bit of final grinding here. As you can see, we're really close. We just got to file both sides down till we get them to fit. But other than that, it's a little dusty from all the cutting dust on it. But this is going to turn out pretty sweet, guys. This one's going to be amazing when it's done. We're definitely going to have to redo that white one. All right, so give me a few minutes here. I'm going to do a little bit of grinding, and we'll make this fit, and I'll be right back with you. All right, y'all. I've got the chassis all together. Got it to fit in there. Excuse me. Still got to glue it in here yet so that it all sits flat and flush. So you can see our lines, where the line is, where it got cut. You can see where the transmission crossover, her transmission mount is. We still have to get the rear end back on here and then determine how we're going to get in between. I think I got that backwards. Maybe I didn't. have to get in between them. Nope, that's the front. I had it right the first time, daggone it. So anyway, we got to get these to line up under here and look correct. We eventually would like to look something similar to this one, if it'll focus in. Focus. So anyway, we would like something like that, nice continuous run, but I don't know if we're going to get that. So we're going to be really close. I may have to jerry-rig something under here to make this work. That's something I'm not going to be able to do here on camera because that's going to take me a little while, y'all. So give me a few minutes and I will figure out how I'm going to make all this work. And I'll be right back with you. Show you how I did it. Okay, I think I finally got this thing figured out. So what we're going to do is we got the rear end right here. Once we put the, matter of fact, let's slip one in now just to, so it's on there. We had to do a little snip in here. A little bit of extra plastic on this thing, so let's snip that off there. Hold this into place without knocking it over. I know, my big old hands are in your way, and this is one of them processes. It's a pain in the butt. Oh, get in there. There we go. All right, it's almost in there. Good enough. Now, I've got that in there. I know I'm a little far away from the camera. I could try to lower this down, make it a little easier for you to see. Maybe make it worse. Let's find out. Okay, so I've got that set on there. And what I did is I just doubled up the transmission mount there, and I put the other piece on for the rear end, which is what I did is I left the transmission tail on there, and then I just snipped it off right there at the U-joint, and then we're going to glue that on. And then what we'll do is I think the best thing that I have to use for this rear drive shaft is a piece of an axle. I have a nice long one here that ought to work just perfect. I'll have to actually cut it, which will actually be good once I get it glued on there and painted. This is actually, if I don't lose it and drop it, the same circumference as the axle that they put on there. It's just I'm replacing it with metal instead of plastic. So right now, guys and gals, it's just a lot of gluing and cleaning this up so it can be put back together. So I'm going to get this all glued back together. What I am going to do, so that you know, is where the two pieces, see I done screwed myself up by lowering the camera. All right, so what I'm going to do is I have to glue all this back together, obviously, and these two pieces don't match up, and they're going to be a bear to get in there. What I find better I've done in the past is I glue in the interior, glue it to the side wall of the truck, and having that glued in will make it easier. So when you glue these two pieces to the bottom of the interior, that'll all help tie everything together, and it'll hold it real tight for you and less chance of it coming apart on you. So we'll glue all those in. We're still going to use the front and the back screws, and then after I get that all glued on, I'm going to put that other cross member on, and then get the rear end in, and then cut and glue on the axle or the drive shaft, and then we'll get that all painted, and I'll be right back. Actually, it'll be 3 or 4 hours, but you'll never know the difference. Bye. All right, y'all, back with a little update here. I put the wheels on it just to show you about where we are now. We got everything set. I'm trying to get it to where y'all can see it a little better, and I apologize. With these black trucks, the lighting I have doesn't work very well. But anyway, I think we knocked this one out of the park. I think this turned out perfect. Everything's lining up. The paint's matching up good. The wheels and tires lined up good. Got the chassis and everything all set up and glued together. We're just waiting on that to dry. I went ahead and I glued on the tail of the transmission on here. I just went ahead and cheated and I made it a double cross member because my the transmission did not want to come loose from this other one, and I didn't want to cut this front one. So instead of doing it the correct way, we just doubled it up and called it a day, y'all. So the rear end is on here. We'll set that into place here. I'm going to use this axle for the drive shaft, so I just got to cut that and we'll glue that all in. But I'm still waiting for the truck to dry. It hasn't been glued together very long, and I just a minute ago glued this cross member and the transmission tail on there, so I don't want to screw that up. So I'll be back. Oh yeah, also this truck had a black bumper on it and black roll bars on it, and instead of trying to change all that out, I just decided that we are going to, I have a black grill with cool blue headlights. So we're going to use this baby. Don't tell me I just lost one. No, it's still in there. It's still in there. But yeah, it's got cool blue headlights. That's pretty cool. So we're going to use that. And then I have a black bumper to go on the front also. So we're going to black this one out. So I'm also considering, I'm probably going to swap these wheels and tires out and put some just regular black wheels and tires on here. I don't like the way these were stamped anyway. This kind of screwed up. A couple of them aren't bad, but this one's not that great. So I think we're just going to go ahead and black this one all out. We got the black interior already, so we'll just go ahead and continue on with the black. But what do y'all think, man? This thing is turning out sweet. This is way better than the white one, I think. Mostly because the white one, I built it totally differently. The black one, I actually got the lifted chassis on there, and it looks a lot better than the way I blocked this one up. So this one we're going to change. I just wanted to build the black one first to see how it comes out before I go ahead and swap the white one around. But yeah, I think this turned out way better. This took 4 trucks to build, so be prepared if you want to go build this. It took chassis from 2 different trucks, and the bed and the cab came from 2 different trucks. So, alright, I'll be back with the finished product, y'all. Alright, y'all, we're pretty much done with it. The only thing that's left to do to it is I need to paint the bottom of it and paint in my new drive shaft. You can see how that got put in there. So we're all set with that. I got the black wheels and tires on here, and then like I said, I want to paint it, and then I need to put mirrors on it. See, I got the grill and the front bumper changed. That's all blacked out. I like those blue headlights. Those are kind of cool. The black bumper on the back. I was going to put a trailer hitch on here, but with the screw where they placed it there, it's going to make it a little difficult to try to put one on there, so I don't think I'm going to fool with it. But again, this is a cheap, well, I'm not going to say cheap. It took me 4 trucks to build this, but it's a quick way to get the truck I wanted without having to spend $100 on what these guys on the internet are charging. So there you go, guys and gals. Hope you like it. That's my Crewcab Shortbed in black. See, I already did the white one, my yin and yang versions. Next up, we're going to do the single cab dually. That ought to be pretty easy to do. All we have to do is just shorten the chassis, put the cab and the bed together, and that truck's pretty much built. And get the blue, all that blue stars and stripes off of there, and that'll be my next single cab dually. Alright, y'all, I'm glad you stopped by. Hope you liked what you saw today. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on eBay. Y'all have a good day, and y'all come back soon. Bye now.